Hi, my name is Maria Elisa Ayerbe, and I'm here today with Schwab Digital to present to you how to mix creatively with Gold Clip. Okay, so in the first video that we did, we explored how to mix creatively using Gold Clip on a drum stem. In this video, we will focus on the bass stem and the synth stem, both from the same song from my friend Maga Cordova from Ecuador, her song Mil Gracias, which I had the pleasure to produce, mix, and master. So let's remind ourselves a little bit of what we got going on. So it's a dance, pop, a little bit of house going on in there. We got that 4 on the floor kick that we managed to preserve and now enhance very well with thanks to Gold Clip on the drum stem. And now we're going to be moving on to the bass and forward to with the synths. So there's like this Q&A response happening when the beat is hitting, like the bass synth kind of replies. And this tone, it reminds me of those like early 90s like house techno kind of bass synth line. So let's see how we can enhance and get more creative with Gold Clip. So you can hear there's like a grainy quality. It's typical from the transients from this type of like sawtooth waveform. So whenever we're working with the added harmonic distortion that we're going to get from Gold and from Alchemy, we just got to make sure that we don't enhance that to the point where like it becomes negative, obviously, for our mix. Reason why, most likely, I'll also be playing with the wet and dry signal. So first of all, let's see what happens when we add the clipper. Obviously, the more aggressive we make that slope on the clipper, the more we're going to get those grainy tones, kind of like not so nice. So we gotta, I prefer to leave it in the classic mode for that reason. Also, let's see what happens. I haven't turned on the low pass filter. When activating the clipper, I notice how my low end sort of like became a little dull. So let's see what happens. Yeah, it's definitely working. It works really well, so I'm just going to leave it. Now, let's play with Gold. Whoa, that was a lot. I like it. It's bold, but hey, it might not be my thing, but you never know, because in the end, remember, all of this to say that when you're mixing bass, you don't have to mix bass on its own. You always have to mix it with your drums. So let's check it out. Yes, it's more present, more upfront. It's kind of like you're adding that perception that the bass has pushed forward, which is kind of really cool. I just want to make sure that I'm adding a little bit of that box tone filter to it. So I'm helping it contour that roll off on the top end. So it maybe that granular quality is not so overexcited. Yeah, that classic helps us like shape it a little bit, which is kind of cool. And last but not least, let's see what Alchemy does. Yes. So this, like this really now reminds me of that analog mono bass synth line from the techno house era. Check it out. Yeah, obviously now I know that most likely they were a little bit over abusing that extra magnetic saturation that came with pushing into the tape. This is it, people. So this is kind of cool. Let's check it out one more time with the drums, and I'll just play with wet and dry. It's really funny. I felt like the more I pushed into the wet, like the more wet signal I left, the more I felt like it's more of a pump up the jam kind of thing. Like it reminds me of that type of tone, which I like. Now I know how to get it, which is pretty cool because I didn't know before. But FYI, this is not what the song needs. So that's why I'm dialing back up. But then again, I love that additional color. Reason why I'm gonna keep the wet and dry signal. Just to be on the safe side, remember when you are working and you're using the wet and dry, make sure that you're working in linear phase because that will ensure that the process that created by the plugin is working at its best quality and you're not listening to different artifacts or things that may happen with the overall DSP processing. So yeah, this is great. I'm loving it. I'm keeping it. I'm sold. Now let's move on with the synths. You notice how that like pumped gated synth is like growing on the sides. It's like, how many plugins would you need to do all of this? So I'm just loving this, loving it. What? So now it's like it not only like sort of grew towards the side, so it's like I had a dial between like MS and I was just like increasing the sides, but it also like added more dimension to it. It's just that emulation of that specific saturation from the gold that is just like increasing the fullness and the richness of this harmonic distortion. And with the classic one, it's like vintage right there. It's like a lot of harmonic distortion, just bringing a lot of colors. So it's like you have like compression, but with harmonic distortion, multi-band, but it's like a lot of things, but very polite and like also very, very like just on the spot. I'm not hearing a lot of what the box tone is bringing, but definitely maybe save it for last once I add alchemy. You notice how those like pointy elements, like the doom, 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 that are coming from the two speakers now with alchemy, it's like they're coming also forward. So it was like hidden elements in the back because we got alchemy exciting that mid and high frequency. Now it's like they're coming together and they're also there. It may be a little bit too much. I don't know yet because again, this is all gonna have to work together with the drums and the bass, but it's like, again, how many plugins would you really need to do this? So the cool thing about Gold Clip is not to think about it just as a clipper, but also as a harmonic tonal enhancer and how to get creative with it. Yeah, I like the now I do appreciate the box tone, like the modern tonal shaping thing that it's bringing to it, just making sure contouring it so it's not so harsh and aggressive. I appreciate that. So last but not least, let's go again, play with all the other tracks and see how we blend it in. notice also how much depth my synths now have, like those I call them like the stars, those like shiny reverbed elements that obviously when we are bringing all those elements forward, like now that reverb seems closer and it's just a lot more wider and ever present, which I love. So there you go. This is incredible. I've used Gold Clip not only as a clipper, but also as a sonic enhancer, a stereo widener, a depth perception field alteration plugin, and many, many other things. I couldn't recommend this plugin anymore. Go ahead and check it out at Schwab Digital's website. Gold Clip, available for you. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.